So today we are doing the end of summer recap book tag, and I just thought this would be the perfect time to do it. We are well and truly into autumn or fall, if you're American, over here in Australia. And so what a perfect opportunity this is going to be to reflect on the books that I read during the season of summer. I probably should have done this a bit earlier, but I think enough time has passed to go back and revisit those things, so let's get right into it. There are 7 questions. I am going to leave the link to the book vlog the book blog that I got this from in the description below in case you want to check it out. Question 1. Which book that you read in summer can you not stop thinking about? I actually have 2 for 2 completely different reasons. The first one is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, and I can't stop thinking about this for 2 reasons. I thought the book was just absolutely amazing, and it made me realize how much I can love a classic that is written, I believe, in like the 30s or something. Daphne du Maurier did an amazing job, but the way this book ended has stuck with me for a long time because it ended so suddenly that I even did a video talking about sudden endings, and that has stuck with me up until this day. The second book that has stuck with me is one that's on display, so let's just bring it out from its display position on the shelf, shall we? Ah, thank you. Keeper of the Lost Cities by Shannon Messenger. This is an amazing book, and there's a tagline here that says perfect for fans of Harry Potter. It absolutely is. I love Harry Potter, and one of the reasons why I love Harry Potter is because in that series, Harry finds out that there is more to him than being human, and he then goes away to school to study all these different things that are to do with who he is so he can learn more. And the same thing happens in this book. While what Harry Potter is and while what Sophie in this book is are 2 completely different beings, they both find out that they are, and then they both go to school to learn more about who they are. And I loved that. I loved it about Harry Potter, and I definitely loved it about Keeper of the Lost Cities, and I'm still thinking about book 1. Question number 2. In summer, which book would you have rather not read? And the answer to this question is Legendary by Stephanie Garber. I read Caraval by Stephanie Garber. This is book 1, Legendary is book 2. I loved book 1 so much. I gave it an overwhelming 5 stars. It was amazing. I loved it so much that the moment I finished reading this book, I ordered this book right away. I read one book in between and then I went straight on to this one. I regret reading this book because I did not like this book anywhere near as much as this one. And it kind of tainted my Caraval experience. Caraval is a plot-driven story. Legendary is a character-driven story. And so all the things that I loved about book 1, the whimsy, the wonder, and all of those things that I can't talk about because it's a spoiler, we don't really get anywhere near as much of that with Legendary. So if I had to pick a book that I wish I hadn't read in summer, it would have been Legendary by Stephanie Garber. I'm sorry. I can't help but smile and laugh at this because I'm sure I already know the answer without even thinking about it. Question number 3 is, which genre did you read the most in summer? I'm going to say without looking, fantasy, but now I'm going to quickly check and see if I'm right. Yep, I'm absolutely 100% correct. In the season of summer, I ended up reading, I believe, 13 fantasy books, which was the most I read in any genre. Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson. The Nutcracker by E.T.A. Hoffman. I reread Mistborn, The Final Empire. Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. As mentioned earlier, Caraval and Legendary by Stephanie Garber. City of Bones, Ashes, and Glass, the first 3 books in the Shadowhunters series by Cassandra Clare. I reread The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. As mentioned earlier, Keeper of the Lost Cities by Shannon Messenger. The Hope of Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. And An Unkindness of Magicians by Kat Howard. So if you've seen my goals for 2021 video to do with the reading portion of my goals for 2021, you would all surprised that I want to have 1 month, just one, where fantasy doesn't dominate all the other genres. I just want 1 month where fantasy doesn't come in first. Question number 4. Which book surprised you the most in a good way that you read during summer? In order to not repeat books I have already shown, I'm going to go with this one, book 1 in the Goosebumps series, Goosebumps Welcome to Dead House. I had just come off, well, actually a year ago, so we can't say just, in March of 2020, I came off reading Goosebumps My Hairiest Adventure, and I absolutely had issues with that book. I gave it 1 star, so I had no clue what I was going to get into with this one, and my hopes for this book were really, really low. It really surprised me. Book 1 was just so good. For a middle grade horror, you get exactly what it is that R.L. Stine is setting out to achieve. A middle grade horror. It was wonderful, and it surprised me in such a good way. Question number 5, which book disappointed you the most in summer? We've already spoken about the book that I regret the most in reading, which was Legendary, so I'm going to go with another one, and the book that disappointed me the most would have to be Love, Clancy by Richard Glover. I thought that the concept for this book, the premise for this book sounded really amazing. It is a book about a dog that is writing letters home to his family, and it just sounded so much fun. By the time I got to halfway through, I started to realize that each chapter was becoming more and more formulaic, and it just became rather monotone towards the end, and that kind of annoyed me a little bit. Also, there are some things that came up in the prologue of this book that I really thought were going to be addressed somewhere in the book, and they never did, and it came across in a way like it would come up in the book, like, readers beware, this is going to come up towards the end, and then it never did. So I would have to say Love, Clancy did ultimately disappoint me. Question 6 is, what was your favourite cover out of all the books that you read in summer? And my answer to this is a book I don't have on me, so I'll put a picture of it up on the screen, and that would be this book, Peter Cottontail's Surprise. This cover is so beautiful. The artistry in this book is amazing. This is a children's picture book, and it was a book that I read growing up. In December, I went to visit my mother, and while I was there, she was showing me some of the books I read as a child, so I reread this book. And, oh, the artistry is so beautiful. If you like what you're seeing on the cover, trust me, it gets even better as you go throughout the book. So, most beautiful cover. I would have probably said Rebecca initially, because of the beautifulness of the 80th edition. But Peter Cottontail's Surprise has to take the cake. And question number 7, the final question is, what was your favourite summer release book? So I'm interpreting this as a book that actually came out in summer. For this one, I actually have to go into my TBR for the month of March. I have read this book, but I haven't, and I've actually reviewed this book, but I haven't actually done my monthly wrap-up yet, so I had to go over there for that one. So my answer is As Far As You'll Take Me by Phil Stamper. This is a book that came out in early February, and I absolutely loved this book. I love Gravity of Us right here is also by Phil Stamper. I love Phil Stamper, if you can't tell. This was fantastic, and it definitely got me going as far as for the 2021 new release books in a really positive way, and I can't wait to continue to read more new release books in 2021. And that is it. Oh gosh, wasn't that fun going down memory lane? I certainly enjoyed it. How about you? And do you do what I do every time I watch a book tag? I not only listen to the answers of what booktubers say, but I also answer them myself. So what were your answers for these ones? Let me know in the comments below. Maybe if you live on the other side of the world, you can answer them for your winter books. So I'm talking about books that you read between the months of the beginning of December through to the end of February. What were your answers? Let me know in the comments below. I can't wait to read them. But in the meantime, that is where I am going to leave it, letting you guys go with peace, blessings, and so much love. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I'll see you again soon. Mwah. Thank you so much for watching, and happy reading!